The only local news teams taking action for you. KIMA KEPR Action News starts now.
Coming up this morning on Action News, fires in our neck of the woods continue to burn. The retreat fire is now 50% contained, though it scorched 42,000 acres. As wildland crews focus on containment, structure crews are working to ensure no buildings are lost. We'll share the latest. Plus, the storm that rolled through yesterday morning fortunately didn't cause any wildfires, though dozens of lightning strikes were reported. We'll hear from a fire chief who says the bolts cause about 5 fires a year in our area. And level 2 evacuations are in effect in Grant County, but not because of a fire. For flooding, though. A canal broke overnight, and officials are asking residents to be vigilant on those roadways. We'll have that story and more coming up as you start your day with us right here on Action News. Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And Jefferson, in the world of weather, let's jump right over to the kind of lightning strikes that we saw yesterday. Quite an abundance of them, dozens of lightning strikes.
Yeah.
Are we expecting to see any other rounds of lightning strikes or even precipitation in the next few days?
Yeah, we did see loads of lightning yesterday, especially during this time. If you joined us yesterday morning, it was a very active morning. Now, today is going to be a calmer day of weather. We still are going to hold on to a chance of some thunderstorms for the Blue Mountains today. There are red flag warnings in place for the Blues that we'll talk about later in the newscast. But for most of us, including the Tri-Cities and Yakima, the thunder threat is over for at least the time being. There is going to be some question about if we could see some thunder or lightning going into the weekend, but models are still in serious disagreement about those scenarios. But for right now, for today and tomorrow, I can say that we are going to be mostly calm. Waking up this morning in Yakima, we're seeing a pretty nice sunrise out there. It's going to be another day of hazy sunshine overhead. Temperatures right now, as you're stepping out the door, are in the upper 50s in Yakima. And again, no thunder to speak of, a different scenario than we were talking about yesterday at this time. Here's a look at your weather headlines. Warm highs and hazy sunshine on this Tuesday. There is an indication that tomorrow we can actually see increasing haze and smoke across the entirety of the forecast area. But in general, the weather pattern is going to be staying pretty stagnant. I'll continue to break down your weather forecast coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning with some breaking news. Firefighters are currently on the scene of a structure fire in Richland that broke out just before 3:30 this morning. It's in the 900 block of U Drive. According to scanner traffic, the blaze started in a garage, which is attached to a home. The fire is fully involved, and multiple water tenders have been called in, as there isn't any water supply nearby. Now, these details are all unconfirmed. We are working to get a reporter on the scene as of this morning. Now, we're going to jump over to Walla Walla investigators who are calling 4 fires highly suspicious and possibly connected after they all started over the course of 12 hours in the same part of the city. Here's a list of those fires and locations. The first just after 10:30 Sunday night in the area of Pine and Cayuse Street, adjacent to Highway 12. Then Monday, at 1:30 in the morning, reports of explosions and flames at North 12th between Payne and Moore Streets, torching cars. And then at 7:15 yesterday morning, a semi-trailer used to store car parts was set on fire in the same location. And finally, just before 10:30 yesterday morning, a rekindling of the first fire at Pine and Cayuse. If you've seen anything suspicious or have any information about these fires, contact Walla Walla Dispatch. And fire crews are still working to contain the retreat fire burning near Rimrock Lake, not far from Natchez. The fire has now burned 42,000 acres and is 50% contained, a big increase. Structure protection crews are still patrolling the Highway 12 corridor between the Y with State Route 410 and the White Pass Summit, which is still closed. They've been putting out any hot spots or fires that are threatening structures, and they've also been monitoring to make sure the fire doesn't reach any structures at Camp Gormley and along Lost Lake Road. After some scorching heat, gusty winds, and lightning yesterday, firefighters continue to hold the line on the Battle Mountain Complex fires. There were about 100 lightning strikes near Umatilla and winds nearly 60 miles an hour at times, but crews were able to push containment to 39%. Still, the lengthy battle continues, and smoke is expected to linger in portions of inner Umatilla County. And a little further to the west, a fire in Wasco County prompted the evacuation of an entire town over the weekend. A series of lightning strikes during the storm Sunday created the Bennett fire. The town of Antelope was ordered to evacuate, but that order has since been reduced to level 2. And as the hot weather continues across our region, the fire crews are dealing with more than just heat and dry conditions this wildfire season. Yesterday, about 44 lightning strikes were confirmed across the lower basin and Yakima Valley. Fire leaders tell us maps like these help crews determine where potential fires may start, which could be quick in our area.
Especially in our fuel model with the sagebrush and the grass. Once it gets established, it takes off pretty quickly. Where I think maybe some of the Forest Service up in the higher elevations, they might look at over the next couple of days or even do some flights.
Chief Harris says while this storm hasn't caused any fires, the Tri-Cities typically see around 5 wildfires a year due to lightning. Benton and Franklin counties still remain at extreme fire level. And level 2 evacuations are in effect in Grant County after an irrigation canal broke, causing massive flooding over the roadways. According to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, just after 10 last night, there was an irrigation canal break between Road 5 and Road O. Water from the canal is being diverted to Moses Lake and Potholes Reservoir. Residents in the 10,000 block of Road 4 are under get-ready evacuations. Officials say the lower Crab Creek will receive 3,200 cubic feet per minute of water passing through it. They're asking folks to be aware while on roadways, as there is a possibility that water will flood other areas along its path. The Red Cross is in a critical need for blood donations. In fact, an emergency blood shortage was declared yesterday. Not only is there a big need for blood that the Red Cross currently has, but because of the lower number of donations, they aren't able to replace the blood that very quickly that's being used. And this isn't just in the valley, but Yakima Valley rather, but across the country. Red Cross leaders tell us since July 1st, 25% of their blood supply has been used. A lab tech told us right now blood donations are down in the Yakima Valley and they desperately need more donors.
So yeah, go ahead and come on in. It's a pretty easy process. If you're scared of needles or have anxiety about that, we'll definitely hold your hand throughout the whole process.
Now, if you're interested in donating, you can make an appointment through a link up on our website, KIMATV.com. And the Pasco Police Department is getting ready for its upcoming Citizens Academy beginning in mid-September and lasting for 10 weeks. The classes are designed to give folks a better understanding of what police do every day.
The academies give them an opportunity to really dive in deep, to figure out some of the challenges that we face, some of the actual fun parts about the job, and just get an actual deep knowledge about what it is, why we do it, and how what we do as the police department affects what they do in the community.
The classes are free to attend, taking place every Tuesday from 6 to 9 p.m. and on Thursdays for the Spanish-speaking classes. Several communities in our area are hosting National Night Out events. Yakima held theirs last night. Tonight, Ellensburg, Sela, Union Gap, Wapato, and Prosser are all hosting events at various locations. These are generally between 5 and 8 p.m., and we have all the details up on our website, KIMATV.com. Also tonight, Toppenish is hosting a free public shred and meds event. Safe Yakima Valley will be collecting any out-of-date or unused medications for safe disposal with no questions asked. You can also bring any documents for shredding. The event is at the parking lot on 20 Asotin Avenue behind the Toppenish Pool from 4 to 7 p.m. Now, Jefferson, for any folks that want to get out there to do any of the shredding, getting rid of their medications, or going to the National Night Out, what can they expect? Yeah. Temperatures seem to be a little bit cooler than what we've been seeing the last couple of days.
Yeah, no triple digits on the board today. It's going to be a day of slightly above average temperatures, but not too abnormal. Around the region for this afternoon, we are going to be looking at hazy sunshine overhead with high temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 90s. Again, at least we are out of those triple digit temperatures that we have been talking about oh so much. Now, as we go into tomorrow, there is going to be a chance of increased haze and smoke in our forecast area. That's never good. I'll talk about the smoke forecast coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. The time now is 5:09. Coming up on KEPR KIMA this morning, some state news. With all these wildfires, the governor has issued an emergency proclamation in response, which allows fuel deliveries to trucks on the front lines. The DNR is saying there's no shortage in fuel and they can cover any potential delivery gaps. We'll dive into the situation in about 2 minutes, but later in the show, national news. The Supreme Court rejected a push to temporarily block the former president's gag order related to his New York hush money trial and delay his sentencing. The request coming from a Missouri attorney general. We'll discuss the arguments on both sides, but we have to take a quick break. Stay with us, though. That's just a peek of what's to come this hour, and we're just getting started.